Time out! No, what am I saying?
What, this? It's nothing. Really, it's nothing, Ed. It's just, it's just Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve.
Have a good time. Make sure your seatbelts are fastened.
Okay, you little bastards. The time has come. The moment we've all been waiting for. It's the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve Olabruski. Let's go.
Let's get this bad boy ramped up and rolling. I'm talking about the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve Olabruski. We are back for another exciting, fantastic episode, gentlemen.
Yeah. Find us on the website, thevocalminority.net, and social media sites as well. So. And just be grateful we're all alive and here, because all three of us are fucking zombies today. Yet somehow when the on-air light comes on, listen to the energy flow.
Just click into it, dude. We just, it's like, it's like being called to a fire as a fireman. You got to throw that fucking gear on and get rolling, right?
It's true. When I was a radio intern back in 1998 at WCSX, Detroit's classic rock station, there was a dude, I wish I could remember his name off the top of my head, but he taught me such a good lesson. He came in and he was sick. He sounded like crap. He was vomiting. I mean, he was sick. He was sick. Yeah. And he also forgot his prescription glasses, so he was wearing his prescription sunglasses. That's all he had. And the guy was miserable. But as soon as the on-air light went on, he just turned it on, got through his break, turned the mic off, and went back to laying on the ground just in misery.
Johnny Fever, dude. I mean, that's the OG, right?
Yeah. It's what you got to do. Turn on the charm. On this show, we like to keep it real. So I'll just tell you all, we're all fucking miserable and tired and exhausted, but I'm still here for you. So
that's right. Well, hopefully this will not only get us energized, but the audience as well. We appreciate you being along for the ride. The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve Olabruski. You can call us now. We have a comment line. You can ask questions. 844-48-VOCAL.
Yeah, comment line, complaint line, whatever line you want to use it for, call on in. And I don't know if I know Nick's tired. Is it because you're 1 year older? Because you're an old man?
Maybe so, dude. I'll tell you, my body, everything is kind of hurting. So maybe that's it. Dude, I'm so pissed off right now because Steve left me a message. I'm going to get it for our next episode, dude, in the break. Steve left me a message and sung me a happy birthday on the Vocal Minority comment line, 844-48-VOCAL. Use your telephone as a microphone. He did a Marilyn Monroe happy birthday, Nikki. It was very bone-chillingly sexy. Okay.
I don't think there's any actual proof that was me. I mean, the voice was so spot on to Marilyn Monroe. There's no evidence.
No. Only your name pops up. Like, you have a new message from Steve Harness. Well, I knew it was you.
You sang me happy birthday on a voicemail for me, so I just thought I'd return it. But I took the sexiness up a notch because you deserve it. So.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Maybe we should make that a new tradition, dude. Just that, we leave great, happy birthday messages in the form of a song.
That or food, beverages, wine, whatever. I don't care. Whatever works for birthdays. But yeah, welcome to 48. Brewski, we're trying to catch up to you, but you just
You give me hope, Brewski. I look at you and I think, damn, dude, I got nothing but good things to look forward to.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but
I do have to say I'm getting a shitload of AARP stuff mailed to my house now.
Yeah.
Like just in the last 2 weeks. I'm not old enough, am I?
50 is usually when you start getting it, really.
Right.
I'll tell you what, though, there's some really good discounts. That I'm an AARP member, and there's some serious, I mean, I break that out or my AAA card out, and I have discounts all over the place.
That's fantastic. They were one of the things I got just like a day before my birthday was if I sign up, they were going to give me a free cooler bag, and I wanted that bad boy so badly, dude, but I can't do it.
No, I will pay full price for as long as I have to not have my name on an AARP registration card.
And you might as well take advantage of the some of the advantages that come with aging, right?
I guess so.
Their website actually is really informative. and there's a lot. No, seriously.
Is it all big font? Is it easy to read?
Sure.
No, you actually have to make it the big font because
It has an option for you.
I guess
to
not
change.
everybody has really poor eyesight at this age. I don't know.
I'm going to make a vow right now. When I turn 50, on the day I join AARP, I will transfer my service to a Jitterbug. I'll become a Jitterbug user, and I'll revert back to a flip phone, even if it affects my life in a negative way.
No, on the Jitterbugs, they actually have a smartphone option now.
Okay.
With really big buttons, and
I'm happy to say I don't know what the hell you two are talking about. Is this an old person giant phone or what?
There's an old person's cell phone
Jitterbug
company.
Yeah, cheaper cell phone service, and they send you phones that are easier for old people to use, big buttons, and I'll let you know when I join.
And there's actually a button on there that you press it, and it automatically like dials like emergency services and automatically contacts your set emergency contact to let them know, hey, we have a problem here.
Nice. Do I wear it around my neck with a little chain?
You could, but no, it's not. I mean, you still put it on a clip on your belt.
It's not a life alert or anything like that.
Right.
Right. Well, as long as it comes with a holster, that'll be age appropriate. So good.
My mom lives alone, and I worry about her falling. Right. I mean, she's 76 years old right now. Or 77. And I worry about her falling only because she lives alone. Like, if it happened, I always hear horror stories of people, like, laying there. I mean, she wouldn't lay there for long. I check in with her daily. But, I mean, maybe, who knows, 12 hours or whatever, So I told her, I want to get you a life alert for Christmas. She didn't. She was too vain to wear the necklace around her neck. Didn't want it. So I ended up getting her an iWatch because now they have settings for old people. If it falls, it'll call 5 people and call 911.
Personally, I'd rather fall and let my cats eat me before I have a life alert hanging around my neck. So.
Do you think your cats would do that?
Oh, there was
feed them. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a study that came out, and I asked my vet about it, and he said that cats will, if you die in your house and you have cats, especially more than one, in the first 24 hours, they will start to eat you as a human being, and they start with your face 9 times out of 10.
Your eyes.
That's sweet.
Oh.
Yeah, I assume it's because they're pissed off I forgot to feed them and they just think I'm sleeping in or something. But no.
Welcome to the podcast.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you this. We interrupt our program to bring you a special.
Here is a news bulletin. We interrupt this program to bring you
the humanity and all the things. A date which will live in infamy. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Need to know news. News you need to know.
Indeed. Oh, thank you. Speaking of being young and hip, I just don't want any techies out there to bust our balls. It is the Apple Watch. It's not the iWatch. Okay? Just so everyone.
Whatever.
Whatever, Artist. Come on, Artist.
Honestly, I never understood why they did that. Every product has an I in front of it. Then they create a watch, and it's not the iWatch. It's the Apple Watch. But everything else is iPhone, iPod, iPad. Like, I don't get it.
Stupid.
Those young kids over there at Apple, I don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah. Come on, a little consistency would be nice.
Listen, my first news story, I don't need to pull from the interwebs because I can look at my fucking life and just tell you that there was a massive snowstorm in the Sierra Nevada these past several days here, as you probably saw in the national news. It's always disconcerting when the national news is broadcasting down the street from your house talking about disaster conditions.
Did you see him out there pulling a live shot?
Oh, yeah. I was watching NBC News the other morning doing my workout, and they're literally at the Heavenly Village, which is a couple miles that way. And the guy's just like, disaster conditions unfolding today. We're all going to be stuck here. We're looking at up to 10 feet of snow. It has been
crazy what's happening.
So we got snow at a rate of 3 inches an hour for several days at a time. I mean, I lost track of how much snow I got here at the house. I'm at 7,000 feet, mainly because it's been like gale force, blizzard condition winds, ridge gust of 120 miles an hour.
120?
Oh, yeah. So
well, they initially
it's
said
hard-
100, and I shit my pants at that. I was like 100 miles an hour.
Listen, ridge gusts of 100 miles an hour are not totally uncommon around here. I mean, it's pretty epic. But no, these peaked well above that. We have an avalanche that happened right down the road from my house. The highway was closed. I mean, I lost power a couple of times. And it was blowing so freaking hard that it's hard to measure the snow because it's just blowing everywhere.
Yeah.
So some parts drift like up to 8-9 feet high. Other parts it's down to the ground because it's just blowing everywhere. I mean, it's been insanity. So I've been out there every 12 hours, basically, doing snow removal.
Oh, for the better part of 3 hours at a time.
Yeah.
That's
I'm spending a good
crazy,
6-7 hours a day out there. It really is. Started Thursday night, and last night the snow started to taper off, but I got up this morning, and it drifted all over my driveway, and I'm back out there, and the plow hasn't come to my neighborhood yet because of the avalanche.
Jeez.
It's been crazy.
You know what I've been worried about ever since this storm hit?
Yeah.
For you especially, okay?
Yeah.
I've been wondering, these little birds have got to be freezing their little tails off.
Who? What?
The birds in Tahoe right now have got to be freezing. I would hope that you would go out and trim some pubes, dude. Get a little bedding for these birdies.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. First of all, I don't think there's any birds flying around in this stuff. I don't know where they go, but they're not here.
You don't see a bird?
No.
You don't? Never? They've disappeared?
I don't think many birds live here in the winter. Those things migrate.
They do. No, not all birds do not migrate. Are you kidding? I've got birds all around me.
Some birds do not migrate. That's why they have these elaborate nests and that sort of thing, because they're able to get in them and hunker down.
I think that's bullshit, dude. I don't think you're right about that, and I will prove it someday. Okay,
I can anecdotally prove that I don't see any fucking birds around here right now. Like, this is crazy conditions. Even the bears aren't out and about. They're hunkering down. So I'm going to go with either migration or, like Brewski was saying, like they're in their nests and they're not coming out. But I don't know how this turned into a Nat Geo episode all of a sudden. But I don't know, Nick, if there's birds around here or not. Is that your main concern, or my inability to shave outside? Is that your real worry here?
Yeah, well, both. Not one greater than the other. I think you should trim your bush. You've got the possibility of seeing a woman. So trim that bush, dude, and make.
They've all migrated as well. So
give a bird a nest.
I have a question for Steve.
Yeah.
When you go and you are doing snow removal, do you like to do what I like to do when I'm out shoveling snow? Do you
have a heart attack? Yes, I've been having several of them.
I usually bring at least a 6-pack with me outside and throw a few beers in one of the snow banks near me so that it's nice and cold, and I've got a little something to drink while I'm working.
Yeah, it depends. The night shift, yes. The morning shift, no. I'm not out chugging beers right away, but I try to have some sort of substance in me. I mean, it's really depressing to be out there completely sober, but yeah, it sometimes has to happen that way. So, but yeah, I appreciate your concern for the birds, but I've been hunkered down in my cabin here for several days, surviving 10 feet of snow in blizzard conditions. So
wow,
there's a little bit of man versus nature going on, you know?
Yeah, sure, dude. You are out there doing real manly shit, dude. You're doing things that who'd they take down? Who's that guy who got ran over? What's his name in Tahoe?
Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner. You're doing things Jeremy Renner couldn't do. That's how manly you are.
That's right. One of the Avengers almost died trying to survive up here. So what does that tell you? But yeah, and when the power came back on, my first thought was, I should probably watch some porn before the power goes out again, because that's my real concern here. So
beat your treat a little bit.
Honestly, I've been so flipping exhausted these last several days that has been few and far between. I mean, this has really been relentless. Yeah. And the kids weren't here. I've been alone. Like, you guys have all been checking in, and I appreciate that. But yeah, no, this has been pretty freaking brutal. I haven't left my house in 4 or 5 days now, and I'm trying to get out tonight, but we'll see if that even happens. So.
See if it happens, dude. We're rooting for you. No death or destruction yet, right, in Tahoe?
Not that I've heard about. I mean, ski resorts have been limited on operations. We have had a few avalanches, but I haven't heard any deaths. And, you know, I saw some people whining on Facebook, you know, trying to come up here from the Bay Area about getting stuck in traffic. And you're all fucking idiots. Why are you trying to come up here in this? You go before or after after these storms, not during them. So I have no sympathy for you and your Teslas.
Well, but here's the thing, though, Steve. When we have a hurricane here during the summer, spring and summer, we get hurricanes that come through here.
Yeah.
And there are people that complain because they're told that they're not allowed to go surfing while the hurricane's coming through with these massive waves and that sort of thing. Oh, come on. They're just trying to ruin our fun. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah. Bodie would not agree with that shit, dude. The storm of the century was a great place to have a quick surf, right?
Speaking of Darwinism and evolution, yeah, listen, dude, if you can go out there and hang on that, then kudos to you. But if it kills you, don't expect any of us to come rescue you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to guess I got 5 to 6 feet of snow at my house. It could be slightly more, and that's over like 3 or 4 days. So It's been a little crazy, but I feel proud that I've survived it. And yeah, a week ago on the show, I talked about a first date I had that was going to an NBA game, and that all went very, very well. So in theory, I'm supposed to have another date tonight, but the highway is still closed, so we'll see.
This storm could be keeping you from a lover, is what you're saying?
I don't care if somebody's stuck in an avalanche, buried alive. It's keeping me from date number 2, and that's a freaking national emergency, people. So send the sled dogs.
Well, hopefully you'll get to go this week one way or another, right?
Oh, one way or another. I'm going to find you. I'm going to get you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good luck with that, dude. We're glad you're surviving the storm and with little incident at this point other than a lot of, exertion out in the driveway.
But I hope everyone listening is impressed. Like NBC News sent people here. We've got a correspondent embedded in the middle of this breaking news story for you all. So you're welcome.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, I might share a little something with you regarding the snow when we talked about your snow removal.
Yeah.
No federal laws exist regarding flamethrowers, as they are not defined as weapons under the National Firearms Act.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Good to know. Yeah, I'm still wondering. Nick keeps trying, and Brewski now is trying to get me to get a flamethrower to help with snow removal, and I'm trying to figure out the flaw because I see your logic. It does seem like it would make a lot of sense. But I live in the heart of snow removal country, and nobody does that. It just makes me think
dude. Stop.
No one.
Be a trailblazer, like literally a trailblazer.
Yeah, that's right, Brewski.
Yeah. Maybe start the next Great Tahoe Forest Fire or something. I mean, I don't know.
No, I mean, you're only melting snow. I mean, you're not going to aim at trees or anything like that,
Yeah.
Right.
I won't use it on the deck. You're right.
But you keep saying that, I don't know what you're waiting for. To not try it is such a slap in the face to me. And now, Brewski, why won't you try it?
Well, I don't know. I don't want to buy that flamethrower thing. It's not designed for snow removal. I think they would have thought it through as well.
Dude, look it up on the internet. People use them all the time. Please.
No, I'm talking about military grade ones. You can actually get military grade ones with the big backpack with the fuel and everything, and it's not illegal to do so. And you don't have to have a permit or anything.
Well, the one Nick sent me had like this little camping stove size propane tank on it. I would go through that in 30 seconds. So I would have to strap on the big barbecue one to my back and be going at it.
You can get an adapter for it, dude. I'm going to buy it for your next birthday or Christmas or something, just so you'll use it.
All right.
At the very least, I'm going to give you one assignment, Steve.
Yeah.
Mark your initials in urine in the snow somewhere.
Oh, I've done that a couple of times. Because when I'm geared up, I don't want to come in to take a leak. So
yes.
Yeah. Don't worry about where the Huskies go. Watch out for where I go in that yellow snow. So.
Yeah. So now all our listeners know if you want to see Steve's dick live in person, you could see it while he's peeing in the snow or shaving his pubes in the snow.
It's the great outdoors. It's nature. So come observe. There's all
even if I don't take it out and play with it, I still like seeing it. So
I get it, dude. Well, see it in the storm. We're glad you're surviving, Stephen.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
This is Need to Know News. News you need to know.
Hello, Americans. This is Paul Harvey. Stand by for news.
Let's now go to a story, gentlemen, where, this person isn't surviving life so well. I guess she's still alive, but did you hear about a Kansas woman who lived in the bathroom because she felt safe there?
I haven't heard about it. I can relate to it. Sometimes they get very cozy in there,
All right. This happened in 2008. This is an older story for sure, but with an update that the woman seems to be thriving and is enjoying her whole household at this point.
What are we talking about? Like agoraphobia, or she was so fat? Like, why was she living in her bathroom?
Listen, she had a long-term boyfriend of 13 plus years. They lived together. And Kansas is a place where not a lot of people like to go outside. You know what I mean? If you don't have to. So she lived in the bathroom because she felt safe there. Let's go back to 2008 and hear a news clip that actually aired on the news. So hopefully, we can explain this story to you just a little better.
Strangest stories we've heard in quite a while, and we should warn you, some of the details are a little disturbing. Listen to this. A Kansas woman is in the hospital tonight after spending 2 years on the toilet. The sheriff and paramedics were called to a home in Ness City, Kansas, where the 36-year-old woman lives with her boyfriend. The sheriff says the woman's skin had actually grown around the toilet seat. Oh. They removed the entire seat, and then doctors at the hospital freed the woman. Her boyfriend says he brought the woman food and water. He says he asked her every day to come out, but she refused.
When she first went to the bathroom, I thought she was just snapping one off, but after a couple of days, she didn't come out, so I started bringing her some food and some blankets at night. I would lay in the bathtub and talk to her.
Oh, come on.
But I just kind of started to accept that she didn't want to come out. Now, she never seemed like she was in any pain, and I think she just was really comfortable. It started to smell a little, so we would always take the Lysol in there, and I would have to go to the bathroom in the bathtub, but it was really hard to do number two.
What? Come on.
Is listed in fair condition at a Wichita hospital tonight. Investigators plan to present a report to the county attorney, who will determine whether...
Listen, this is a story.
Saturday Night Live bit.
No, dude, this is real. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, that this woman stayed in her bathroom for 2 years. But she stayed on her toilet, and the toilet seat became a piece of her as her skin grew around and connected with the toilet seat.
That's insanity. First of all, I can hear a banjo playing when that guy's talking. I don't know if that's just me. No. But secondly, what the hell do you mean? She sat on it so long her skin grew around it?
Yeah, it takes 2 years, I guess,
Well,
that's how long
sometimes
it took.
in there 20 minutes I'm worried about that. But what I don't even understand what that means. Like her fat rolls were just hanging around the seat, and so
did her legs not fall asleep?
Let me tell you that when authorities finally came, because this guy said, you know what, I should have called authorities a long time ago, but this all kind of snuck up on me and went by so quickly that I kind of just got lost in it myself. Okay.
Well, I was jumping in the bathtub. I never thought to call some help. You should have called a psychologist.
Didn't he just say like 20 seconds before that he laid in the bathtub and talked to her? Like you're shitting in the bathtub and laying in it? I mean, I've seen a picture like that before. Have you, Steve?
Yeah, I have actually. I wonder if that's where this originates from. That's wow. I thought she was just in there snapping one off. Like, wow.
When authorities got to the scene, Brewski, to answer your question, her legs were so atrophied that she couldn't walk. They had to obviously carry her, and she had a toilet seat stuck to her. And to answer your question, Steve, our skin is always dying and growing. So for over a 2-year period of time, that skin dies, and as it's regrowing, it regrew into that toilet seat and started growing around it like it was a piece of her body.
So it's like a tree that grows around a park bench or flagpole or something.
Yeah, that's probably right, dude.
But it just doesn't seem like the skin would grow to the toilet seat, since the toilet seat itself is not a natural thing, unless she was on one of those wooden ones. But even then, those have shellac on them.
Right, dude. I think it's just the shape that the skin was being forced down. So the easiest path of resistance is to wrap around.
Just kind of attach yourself and go there.
It's a barnacle.
Oof. Okay.
So
was she like performing oral for her boyfriend every now and again? Like, did he go to your house?
Dude, this doesn't sound like a normal relationship, okay? I think that's the least of his worries. His girlfriend had a toilet seat stuck to her body.
I would think that's the only reason she made it 2 years. Otherwise, he would be like, get your fat ass off that seat and into the bedroom, honey.
That's right. You heard him. And when he did, when I watched that news report, he's exactly what you're describing, toothless. And I don't know what was going on over there, but she was reported in fair condition other than being atrophied and having a toilet seat
growing out of her.
stuck to her body. He said basically was that she started hanging out in the bathroom, not necessarily on the toilet, because she felt safe in there. Apparently, this woman had some sort of childhood trauma where she found solace and safety in the bathroom, whether that was to get away from an abusive parent or whatever the case may have been.
You're telling me she's got mental issues? How dare you assume these things?
No, this is a fact, dude. I'm telling you right now. Listen, she said, or her boyfriend said, after a while, she started sitting on the toilet and she felt so comfortable and so safe there that she didn't get up for 2 years. So she was in the bathroom for longer. That's how long she sat on the toilet. She was she was just in the bathroom for, about 6 months before that.
Well, I assume she was intermittently using the toilet.
Yes.
That's the only way that's the only part of your house you could really do that in, right? Because if you're sitting on a toilet, you can just go when you got to go. And if your hillbilly boyfriend's bringing you food, then, I don't know if I would leave my bathroom if somebody was just bringing me food constantly.
Dude, can you imagine? Can you imagine living through that? Like, think about this. If you had your perfect woman, and you made her your wife or she was a longtime girlfriend, she was your perfect person. Yeah. If she started sitting on the toilet and wouldn't get out, how long would you go along with it?
Well, I would have to question my definition of perfect if this is in their wheelhouse. But how long? An hour? Certainly not a day, a week, a month, or a year.
If a woman did not come out of the pooper for an hour, what would be your next move? Like just knocking on the door, like, come on already.
I'd find out if she's alive in there. And then
yeah, exactly.
Well. Different strokes for different folks, dude.
Well, sure. And I love that this guy's like, I probably should have called somebody. You think, Cletus?
I used to go to, whenever the Jen would be on the toilet, I would go in there while she was going to the bathroom. Not number two, when she was just urinating. And I would, if I had to go also, and I'd tell her, you know what, just lean back a little bit. I can get right between your legs. Don't even worry about it. And she didn't trust me. She thought that I'd be like peeing on her and everything. And
oh wow, Brewski, did you never tried? Did you ever have your penis out?
No, I tried. I'd take my penis out and everything, and she'd be like, "No, stop right now. You stop that. Wow. No, I can do it. I can totally make it. Just move your right knee a little bit more to the right, and I've got a clear shot. I promise you." But she didn't trust me.
To take it with doo-doo, dude. Just to sit on her lap and have her spread her legs.
Nick. That'd be insane.
Listen, dude. You don't want to be anywhere near a bathroom when I'm in there or about to, or I'm doing my business.
Listen, we've discussed on the show before that I have never seen a girlfriend pee or poo or anything, and you two seem perfectly comfortable with it. So maybe this relationship would work out for you. You could just hang out in the bathroom, watch each other pee and poo. And
I don't think we like it. I just don't think we're afraid of it. This brings up a quick question before I leave this story. Yeah. When you're in a public restroom, okay, and a public, I don't mean a one stall, one manner. When you're in there, public restroom, taking a dookie, do you be quiet about it or do you just let loose? Steve, I'll start with you.
It's a good question. It would depend the emergent level of that. Because first of all, if I'm taking a dump in a public restroom, it's going to be pretty urgent. So If I'm like, let's say I'm at the radio station, an office environment where I know coworkers and other offices, and I'm in there, I would probably do my best to keep it to a minimum while someone is standing there urinating. But if I'm in, a sporting event, or I've been at a bar before where all of a sudden then I know. I'm sorry, people. I just let it fly.
You just let
no
go.
Remorse. Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Brewski?
So wait a minute. You say keep it quiet. Like, are we talking about like not like grunting and stuff? Like, or are you talking about
whether it's grunting? I mean, like if you got farts, like just let them rip. Don't try and seep them out. I mean, come on.
No, I'm in the bathroom at that point, and I'm in the stall. I mean, no problem. You get. I mean, in my high school though, they didn't have any doors on the bathrooms and in the boys' bathroom. In the girls' bathroom they did, but not on the boys' bathrooms. They had
I want to know how you know that? But okay.
What do you mean? Oh, how about I had
doors? How do you know
on
what
there?
the girls' bathrooms at?
Oh, because we went in there one time, a bunch of us, and we saran wrapped toilet seats, the toilets, the bowls, and then put the seats down on top of them, just for fun.
All right, that makes more sense. All right.
Oh yeah. And actually, if you walk by the bathroom in particular on the basement floor of the Somerville High, there'd be a fog you'd have to walk through as you were going by the girls' bathroom.
From cigarette smoke, or they were just that hot?
Hairspray. Big cans of Aquanet in their purses, and you walk by that bathroom and you have a fog coming out of the bathroom.
That's hilarious. I have a can of Aquanet in my garage. You want to know why?
Your pubes, styling your pubes out in the yard?
No, that would make sense. Hairspray is excellent for putting hand grips on dirt bikes, because you got to squeeze those grips on the bar, and you need lubricant. But hairspray is perfect because it acts as a lube at first, and then it hardens once it's on there, so it actually glues. So
yeah,
I tried a white tip for y'all.
I tried masturbating with Aquanet once, just because it is a lubricant at first.
You got to go quick.
Yeah, the first part of the session was fantastic, dude. The second, not so
I bet your
much.
pubes looked awesome, though, by the time you're done, so.
They did.
This is Need to Know News.
Hold on, wait a minute.
News
Stop.
you need to know.
Yeah.
Well, I thought there was an update on this story. What's the current tie-in to this fat lady with the toilet growing out of her ass?
I started with it, dude. I started with the update. She's doing fairly well. She now lives in the house and hasn't left the house, but she is not on the toilet or in the bathroom.
Oh, wait, it's been 16 years. They're just updating us right now?
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why.
This was such a compelling story because they have nothing else going on there that they had to revisit this.
Okay. It's like, where are they now? Like, we get an update on what's Tony Danza doing? What's that lady doing that had a toilet grown out of her ass? Let's check out all these people.
Yeah. Well, I wanted the update. Yeah. I mean, it's a little lackluster, but,
Fair enough. I'm glad she's doing okay. That's a relative term, so I don't know how well that really means.
That's when we talk about perspective, dude. That's what I say. Someone's got it worse, right? And this is who we're talking about, toilet seat lady, okay?
All right. Fair enough. You can move on now.
All right.
This is Need to Know News. News you need to know.
It's time for another brewski. This one is a crazy brewski.
White House medical unit gave controlled substances to ineligible staff.
I didn't know the White House had a medical staff that could just dispense their own drugs to the staff, especially inappropriately.
Well, you remember, Ronnie Jackson, the guy who was a representative from Texas, who is one of those big Trump defenders and that sort of thing. He actually was the White House doctor, even, believe it or not, in the Obama White House as well. But we're finding out that in the first Trump administration, that a Pentagon watch group found a slew of problems with the White House medical unit that took place during the Trump administration, including that the unit provided controlled substances to ineligible White House staff.
Fantastic.
Like what? What are we talking about?
They were giving out things like ketamine, Xanax, hydrocodone, so OxyContin.
Fentanyl was on the list.
There's fentanyl. There's a picture of Ronnie Jackson on this story too. That's a shocker.
I only know of two uses for ketamine. Well, one is to tranquilize a horse. One, if you administer it in small doses, can be very therapeutic. But otherwise, it's a date rape drug.
We used to remember when we first got on the radio with the vocal minority. what, 20 years ago. We did a commercial for Spa Med or something like that was the name of the company, and they promoted ketamine for weight loss back in, what year would have that been when we first started?
2003, somewhere around there.
Think about that, kids. Back in 2003, we could just get ketamine for weight loss, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now it's tranquilizing horses. Yes, it is raping women and men alike, and you could go to therapy with it. This is why we question how this country was doing under the Trump administration.
It shows that, it says here, by the way, that there were White House staffers who were mixing Xanax with alcohol. And there's a quote that says from one of an unnamed staffer that said, and this is not a joke, if you worked for Trump, you would be doing that too.
That's fair, yes, but that doesn't justify the medical White House staff handing these things out to people.
Yeah, Ambien is another one that they were giving out, and it says that over a 3-year period, the White House medical unit spent an estimated $46,500 just for Ambien alone.
And we have not heard about this with any other administration ever happening, so it really does make a lot of sense that it would be under Trump. And by the way, nobody does Xanax and alcohol and then is like, I'm good. You're doing blow, you're doing something else above and beyond that kind of thing.
Sure.
Well, let's keep this in mind, too. These are people with security clearances. These are people making literal life and death decisions.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the old classic, like, our jobs are kind of frivolous. So if somebody calls you and you're wasted, I don't think we're killing anybody in doing our jobs poorly. But yeah, you're in the White House and you're high, drunk on Xanax, doing blow or whatever. And then what happens if there's a tragedy, a crisis or whatever?
Yeah.
You do it high, dude. Do it high.
And then Noel Castler, he had that tweet just the other day, as a matter of fact, about Trump, how he was snorting Adderall and crack on the set of The Apprentice.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could snort crack. That's cool.
Yeah, it's amazing, dude, that, you always, the first time I realized that Donald Trump sniffed a lot was the debate where he came out against Hillary, and it was the night that the tape was released earlier that day of Grab Him by the Pussy. Everyone wondered, he's going to go to the debate tonight after that? He's not going to back out? No, he didn't back out. But he sniffed a lot of cocaine and a lot of Adderall, and that's why his nose is running the entire time. If you go back and watch that, dude, it was one sniff after the other. Going back to The Apprentice, they talk about the rampant drug use of Trump, and we know that Donald Jr. does it. Come on.
Oh, my God, yeah. He's like a damn dustbuster.
Well, and we heard that story. It happened like a year or two ago at this point, where they found a bag of coke on the White House grounds, and we never found out who it came from. But somebody obviously dropped it. It could have been a staffer. It could have been someone on a tour. I mean, we have no idea. But Trump Jr. had the balls to come out and just be like, "This is what's happening in the Biden administration. These are cokeheads running the country." Like, talk about a hypocrite.
Just a little projection there. It's so funny to me, dude, that they'll, talk about Hunter Biden and what a drug addict he is, and all while doing cocaine bumps in the bathroom at the White House. Right. The hypocrisy of this new party that we call MAGA is unbelievable. We saw Lauren Boebert come out, and she was, saying how terrible Hunter Biden is once again. And then like a week later, her son is in the news for like 14 different felonies, dude.
Yeah, carjacking, burglaries, everything. And she said, my son Tyler has had some troubles, but like any parent, I'm going to love him and support him. Oh, sure. Really? Isn't that what Joe Biden was doing with Hunter?
That's right. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense to me, dude. All these drugs in the White House.
I wanted to add also that it's one thing to prescribe the drugs to people who aren't supposed to get them, but what if you are the prescriber who's also partaking in all these drugs? Because this same Department of Defense report actually outlines that Ronnie Jackson, as White House physician, was using drugs, including Ambien, abusing it, actually.
Right.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. That's the kind of mindset where you would be prescribing, quote unquote, this stuff to other people because you're doing it yourself. It becomes a frat house in the White House, you know?
That's why they say don't get high on your own supply. You start making bad decisions, dude.
And I'll tell you, last year with some of my mental health issues, I was prescribed Xanax for the occasional bad night. And the mixing that with alcohol is super, super dangerous. You can kill yourself pretty easily.
Yeah, it's a good thing we didn't have someone just die in the White House from mixing those two things together.
Yeah.
Yes, a good thing. Wink, wink. I hear
this
you.
also explains why Trump shits his pants so easy, dude. I mean,
Right.
you know, all these drugs.
Well, he is 78 years old, though, too. Let's add that in. I mean, when you get to be that old, you know, sometimes the sphincter isn't quite as tight as it used to be. You know?
It's true, dude. It's not the dam that it used to be. You're correct.
Yeah.
Just because he's been bending all of us over doesn't mean his back door is any looser. But we've also been hearing these stories since the Apprentice days. So that would have been when he was about your age, Vrooski, like early 50s. So are you doing okay? You holding things in?
Yeah, I am actually.
Right, so that Trump has no excuse then.
Hopefully all those drugs are out of the White House now, right?
Well, no,
one's doing them now.
there's still a White House doctor and a White House that can prescribe drugs. And I was told by somebody, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Sometimes, you know, the president needs a little something and they have to give it to him. I'm just like, listen, if he needs narcotics like that, they can go to Walter Reed Medical Center if they need narcotics like that. They don't need to be giving them out in the White House like they're giving out worthless candy, you know?
Yeah,
right.
Shouldn't be that.
Well, and clearly Sleepy Joe was not on any uppers of any kind. Although maybe we should put him on some. That might dispel this perception we have of him being too old. And by the way, the story's not just talking about prescribing it to the president because he was pulling an all-nighter in the Situation Room. Like this is his staff.
Not just that, but even lower level staff. I'm not saying interns, but
janitors. Yeah, I mean,
well,
everybody.
I don't think those people. I don't think those people are getting the good stuff like that. I think it definitely is office staffers, and like I said, you know, I mean, you work for that guy, you'd want drugs too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, another great example of glaring hypocrisy. So fun stuff.
Need to know news.
I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire.
News you need to know.
I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Indeed. Is it back to me? Is that where we're at?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. Let's keep it on the White House theme. And I don't know. This story will depress you enough to probably make you want to go do some drugs. I don't understand what in the holy hell is happening in this country right now. A new poll comes out. Strong disapproval of Biden's leadership hits all-time high amongst voters, giving Donald Trump nationwide, this is not a swing state thing, but nationwide, Trump is beating Biden by 5 percentage points in this latest poll. What the fuck? I mean, seriously, what the fuck?
Dude. It's I don't understand where people's heads are at right now. I don't understand not only because Donald Trump is such a piece of shit and we cannot have him as our president again, but because we listed off a couple of weeks ago some of the achievements and great things that Biden's administration has done in these last 4 years. I don't know why we're ignoring those. I'm not ignoring them, but these people that are saying like, I'll vote for Trump like instead of Biden. Are you kidding me? Why? This is everything you wanted. He's doing great.
There's some collective delusion, gaslighting going on in this country where everyone just seems to have bought into this notion that Biden is just old and incompetent and has done nothing good, even though the only criticism is that he's old, like we were talking about. I mean, I got in a fight with someone on our TikTok page this week about, what has Biden done? I'm like, first of all, you're implying that if I told you that would have some, effect on you, like facts would do something, which obviously they're not. But yeah, we read an article a week or two ago on the show. You can Google Biden accomplishments. I mean, there's a long list. And if you Google Biden scandals, there are none. I mean, I don't understand what is going on. And I'll tell you, like on The Daily Show when Stewart came back, or even SNL this weekend, they were making Biden's old jokes. And I get it. It's an easy punchline, but you're feeding into a false narrative that the man is too old and incompetent for this job. If that was the case, we should have a long list of incompetent scandals and just inept things he has done, but he has not.
No, he's had quite the list of achievements. And I mean, it is time to get over the fact that he is, that not only that he's old, but let's just go ahead and say Oh yeah, he's old. I'm gonna go with that. And I don't like Biden. You can't say that the administration as a whole, the people that are backing him up and making the moving parts move, haven't done this. I mean, the achievements are what they are. Go look at them. Find out.
He has one of the most competent staffs we've ever seen. The president doesn't do all of this alone.
Right.
It's the people around him. You want to know why things went so bad when Trump was in the White House? It's because he had Jared and Ivanka, and he had Mike Flynn, and he had
a bunch
all
of pill
those,
poppers, as we just discussed.
but he had all those people who had no experience in government whatsoever. And I'm sorry, but an outsider is not going to do the job the right way, because as we saw with Trump, they lack an ability to work with Congress, or don't have the desire to work with Congress. They just want everything to be a dictator so that they can say, we're going to do this, this, and this, because that's the easy way.
I'm completely shocked, dude, that if you go around and poll Americans right now, on the left and the right, whether extreme or far-leaning left, one of the great topics on everyone's mind right now is immigration. The fact, I mean, it's a widespread knowledge that Biden had put together a fantastic plan, and the Republican Party, with Trump's direction, has decided not to vote on this and make it happen because it makes Donald Trump lose his rhetoric with border talk as he's, going through this election. If that doesn't bother you as a human being, take political party out of it. If that's a concern, if that doesn't bother you and not make any sense to your brain, there's something wrong with you, dude. Yes. I mean, there's something wrong with you.
Did you see, by the way, what Joe Biden had said this past week about that border deal?
No.
Oh, so what he said was, this is something that both sides agree we need to tackle. Instead of fighting it, come join me. Or you know what? I'll join you.
Yep.
And you speak up and you support this deal, and I'll get behind it with you 100%. He's showing you that he doesn't care who gets the credit for it. He just wants to get the damn thing done.
Yeah, this is the problem. We have one major political party that doesn't actually want government to function. They will do anything they can to sandbag it, derail it. All of this shutdown talk that happens every other week. All of the, everyone always says, what do the Republicans stand for? They stand against a lot of things. They're against, certain initiative, but they're not for anything. And they're perfectly happy having the government shut down or fall flat on its face because they think it makes some sort of point.
Yeah, doesn't bother him at all. And if you're looking for progress, which most people say they are, there's only one way to vote, right? Vote blue no matter who is something we've talked about on this program. They're talking about right now the fact that the independent party and the people that are going to vote independently could skew California so much off that that Trump could win.
I did see a story that came out yesterday that actually really kind of made me smile a little bit as it pertains to Trump. Did you know that they actually had a primary in Washington, D.C.?
Yeah.
Did you see who won the Republican primary?
Yeah, it was Trump.
And this person didn't win by a little tiny bit or a sliver. You know what I mean? And then you look at the less support he got in the Michigan primary. Now, he still won that by a big margin, but not anywhere near what he did in the past.
Yeah. Nikki Haley won D.C., correct?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. And let's talk about Michigan real quick, because this is one of these, I feel the media is being a little unfair to Biden and being too fair to Trump. Because, like Brewski just said, in the state of Michigan, my home state, in the GOP primary, Trump got 60% of the vote, which means 40% went to Nikki Haley and or undecided or whatever it was. Now, Biden, he lost, I think, 13% of his vote to undecided on the Democratic side.
Non-committed.
Yeah. And a whole bunch of media ran with this story of like, oh my gosh, Biden, 13% voted against him in his own party, and this is doom and this is gloom, while not mentioning at all that 40% of the Republicans would not support Trump. Now, the 13% that didn't vote for Biden on the primary day are absolutely going to vote for him on the general election day. But then same is not going on the Republican side. That support of his base, losing 40%, if even half of them don't vote for him, he can't win this thing.
Well, and you know what I think the problem is that I think that they really want to make this a real story for them because they get ratings out of it. And I know it sounds awful to say that, but I really believe that. I cite this example. On Meet the Press yesterday, Kristen Welker actually said, this is a direct quote, that Trump allegedly tried to overturn the 2020 election. No, he didn't allegedly do that. He did it. He tried to do it. And that's the problem. They're downplaying all of these things that he's did because they want him in there because he's good for ratings. Meanwhile, they don't realize that it's going to send the country into the damn toilet.
I wish the media did do a better job calling out the fact that we have somebody running for the White House who's up on multiple indictments, is completely unqualified. I mean, I know they pointed out, but I feel like it's a 4-alarm fire that people are just sort of kind of minimizing. Like, oh yeah, sure, the building's on fire, but there's still an exit, so go ahead and take that.
I think it's a catch-22 because as we have seen, is that the more they mention it, the more it fires his base up that he is doing this for them, that, he's fighting to save our country, so I think that's part of the reason we don't hear about it all the time. There's people that believe everything that he did, everything he stood for. There's people that love that.
But you know what, though, if they want to, if that's going to fire his base up, his base, quote unquote, that's fine. Because if it means firing up his base while we're educating the rest of the populace, including people who may be Republicans but don't support him, I'll take that chance because his base is actually a small part of the Republican Party.
Don't we think, though, that if you don't know by now, you've been living under a rock, right? It's not like someone's going to be hearing it for the first time. But what we need it for is that this is a world that we quickly move forward and we forget about things. We start accepting them and living with them. That's why it needs to be pounded into everybody.
And the thing about that, though, to your point, Nikki, is this. There actually have been times where they've gone to Fox News viewers and focus groups, and they've shown them news coverage of stories that these people saw on Fox, and they'd say, wait a minute, I didn't hear about this, or the Fox didn't even cover at all. And they're like, well, when did this happen? Because it's just all tunnel vision. They get everything from one place.
Listen, there's all sorts of people like us that are informed and paying attention to the news, and it boggles our brain how some are not. But the basic math in this country is 45% of us are going to vote Republican no matter what. 45% of us are going to vote Democratic no matter what. That leaves this weird 10% in the middle of undecided, uninformed, uneducated voters who are not watching the news, not getting facts from anywhere, and they're just picking up on this perception in the ether that I hear Joe Biden is really old. I mean, SNL's joking about it. Everyone's joking about it. He must be old. Yeah. And for some reason, they're buying into this like, oh, Trump is just being railed and prosecuted against.
It's a witch hunt. Come on.
No. So, the fate of our country is relying on that 10% of the uninformed voter that we're hoping is just going to pick the lesser of two evils because I railed a couple of months ago about the fact that if the Republicans wanted to win the White House this fall, they would run anyone but Trump because almost anyone else could beat Biden easily. But we have the exact same problem going on our side, which is actually not fair because Trump has done a long list of terrible things to make him unqualified. Biden hasn't, as we've discussed. Yeah. But it doesn't matter. Perception is reality. So if we ran anyone else besides Biden, I bet they would defeat Chris Christie and Nikki Haley, certainly a Donald Trump. If Gavin Newsom was running, I mean, it would be new blood. It would be reinvigorated because there's not all these years of propaganda against him for whatever reason. And so, we're both running very flawed candidates, and I'm just holding on to hope that on election day this year, the people are going to realize that I don't like either of these people, but I can't possibly vote for Donald Trump.
I'll give you my brother is coming in and spending a week with me. This is a person who voted for Trump the first time, and then the second time told me maybe a couple months before election, before he voted, I can't in good conscience vote for Trump again. Okay. And then maybe 2 days before the election, he was like, I just can't vote for Biden. And I'm not a person who can't vote. So he voted for Trump again. Yeah. So he's coming out, getting ready to spend a week with me. I'm going to find out his vote because I think that'll be telling of people that have voted for him, you know?
Yeah. I think a lot of people say that, like, I can't possibly vote for my candidate, but when it comes down to it, they will. And we're seeing it already on the GOP side. People that have been admonishing Trump, but then they've been asked now, like Chris Christie, he was asked, are you going to vote for Biden? He was like, no, I can't bring myself to vote for Biden. Well, then either that leaves either Trump or you're not voting. So Either way, you're not helping the cause.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Hey, let me tell you this, you bastards, before we end the show today. I think about the indoctrination of this MAGA party, and I want to play this quick clip for you of Laura Trump. You know who she is, right?
Whose wife? Who's
Eric? Eric's wife.
Okay.
Yeah. Eric the Window Licker's wife is Laura Trump, and she was at CPAC and went out and gave a speech. Something in here is very disturbing to me. See if you could tell what it is, all right?
Okay. Now, some of you may know, Eric and I are blessed to have two beautiful children, our son Luke and our daughter, named after my home state, Carolina. And yes, Carolina. We got North Carolina in the crowd, South Carolina. We got a big primary to win on Saturday in North Carolina, ladies and gentlemen, South Carolina. Every night, Eric and I have a tradition. We stop whatever we have going on, and we go do bedtime with the kids. While they say their prayers and the Pledge of Allegiance, of course.
Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
There is no way in hell. They're just saying that to that conservative audience.
Exactly.
Wow, that's just like jerking off on the flag right there.
Dude,
I mean, talk about indoctrination. If you're actually making your kids stand up, say the prayer to Jesus and then do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Wow, dude. Here is three guys on this podcast, all white guys, albeit. But I would say that all of us love America. Can you imagine saying, okay, kids, you're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance, even take the prayer out of it. You're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance before you go to bed. I can't believe that. And that crowd ate it up. They loved it.
Because they're a cult. That's cult behavior. And by the way, do you have flags in your kids' bedrooms? Because I don't think you're supposed to say the pledge without a fucking flag there to pledge to.
Oh, it's like cheersing with an empty glass. You're not supposed to do it, you know. 7 years of bad luck. Or bad sex, one of the two.
Oh, gosh.
Ooh, I'll take bad luck. Yeah, no, that's great. Even that they think that that's okay to say, it just shows you how warped and demented they are. I know they're not really doing that, but just even saying it tells you how flawed they are.
Unbelievable. Yeah. That's the party that I can't vote for Biden. Vote blue no matter who. Please, for the love of God, do something on the right side of history and do something for the next generation. Please.
Yeah. What the hell is going on in this country?
Oof, scary times. Yeah. Welcome to the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve Olabrisky. Hey, leave a comment on the show. 844-48-VOCAL. Doesn't have to be a positive comment, but it could be. Ask us a question. Use your telephone as a microphone.
Yeah, I assume the comments won't be positive, but that's all right. That's what we're here for. It's the vocal minority. That's you people. It's us. It's the minority. We're giving you a platform. You get it?
Yeah.
Find the website, thevocalminority.net, and find all the social media stuff because, there's stuff there. So go check it out.
And we bid you adieu. Correctamundo, Brisky?
I do.
And we say bye-bye.
Test 1 2, test 1 2.
Check. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve.
Nick Reynolds, Steve Harness, and Cousin Brewski. The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve.
Take one.